My feeling is, honestly, I think I maybe I'm not common in this view, but I kind of think that she's ripped off, they both have, sort of ripped the Band-Aid off earlier than anybody quite expected. To me, this was inevitable, this direction that they've moved in. But I thought it might come in 2 years, 3 years. I'm quite surprised that it happened at such warp speed. But all of the signals coming out of the palace for the last 6 months have been an accelerated pace of consolidating where the royal family is going to be post the death of the
Well, there's so much talk, though. There's so much talk about the Queen and the palace being blindsided.
Yeah, that's the reporting in the paper.
That's the reporting.
You think that's true? Yeah.
I don't think that's true.
You don't think it's true?
I actually don't think it's true. I find it very hard to believe that the palace, the Queen, didn't have some idea or some knowledge that this was coming and that this was going to be coming the way that it's unveiled.
I think the Queen
very
has
surprised by their reaction.
Fully aware that this sabbatical that they were taking was really about thinking whether they wanted to be in or out. They went away to think that through, and I'm absolutely sure that the royal family knew that that was the case. I think that where they may have been surprised was the timing of the announcement before all the details have been properly worked out, because there are a lot of, quote, details. I mean, you can't really step back. I mean, do you remember in the 90s when Princess Diana made that famous speech? I think she was at a charity somewhere, and she said, I'm going to now retire from public life and for, quote, time and space. And, of course, you can't get time and space. You can't be a part-time global celebrity. You're in or you're out. And I think that's going to be the difficult part. I think that desiring to have their own life is absolutely probably the right decision for these two people.
You can't really be a part-time prince, so to
It's
speak.
hard to be a part-time prince because of all the issues of the Commonwealth funding the tours, which they say the government funding those Commonwealth tours, which they obviously want to continue to be able to do. The house on Frogmore where they live. The funding that they get from Prince Charles.
Tina, when they say they're going to work to be financially independent, when they're going to work to be, what does that mean, do you think?
I think what it really means is that Meghan particularly, and I think now Harry, feel they can't stand the constrainment that they have. I mean, this is a fully evolved working woman of 38 at this point, and yet there's all of these layers of permission on anything that she can do. They can't just say, I want to do this, I want to do that. They have to go through all these palace layers. They've got, Charles on top of them, they've got the Queen on top of them, they've got, William on top of them. And, it's unbearable. I think that what Meghan has desired for a time, and I know she has felt strongly this, is like getting back some control of her life. She feels she has no control.
But is it wrong to want to be financially independent and still support the Queen and support the monarchy? Can't you do both?
You can, as a kind of outside sort of celebrity, as it were, but the question of whether or not you're going to be a fully funded, are the Foreign Office going to fund all their tours and so on when they're also making money in other ways? That's never really been done before.
You can't have two jobs, in effect.
No, and it confuses and alienates the British public if they feel that you're a celebrity who's sort of coining a lot of money on one level, and then suddenly you switch into being a royal prince who's, being funded by the government to go on Commonwealth tours.
Tina, with this and with the effective exile of Prince Andrew in the aftermath of the Jeffrey Epstein debacle interview, where is the royal family at this moment?
The royal family are absolutely slimming down. I mean, Prince Charles has for some time said that his vision of the royal family is of a much more close-knit, essentially editing out the others. It's just about the heirs and their heirs. That's what they want. And in fact, there was a very, I thought, telling photograph, telling incident over Christmas, the Queen Christmas message, where people always decode the photographs on her desk. 2018, you saw pictures of Harry and Meghan getting married, and her granddaughter Eugenie by Prince Andrew's daughter also got married. Picture on the desk. This year, no pictures on the desk of marriage.
Just the heirs.
Just the heirs.
But
and then the photograph that they released just before Christmas, which was the 4 heirs. It was the Queen, Charles, William, and Prince George.
And little George. It was very cute. But if the palace had known about it, and I actually do think that they did, why couldn't there have been a statement of, we're aware of this decision, we support their decision, we're working out all the details, as opposed to the messaging that they sort of went rogue, and now everybody is very upset? It could have been messaged very differently.
Well, I think, in the moment, people are aggravated. I think that they do feel blindsided a little bit. Not by the decision, but by the fact that it dropped like a hand grenade into the space, as it did this week.
All right, we'll see where it goes. Slimming down to the royal family.
Slimming down.
Yeah, this story's
we'll
certainly
soon be
not
talking
over.
about who Prince George is dating. Don't forget that. He's 6.
It's coming
We'll
up.
be back. 10 years.
Yeah, it's
It'll all
all-
be about that.